Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today is a very special day because we get to play MotoGP 23 for the very first time. We're going to be using the beast Enea Bastianini in the first ever MotoGP 23 video here on the DrAce channel. But before we do so and get really into the nitty gritty of this game and to this particular race, I would like to give a massive thank you and a shout out to the guys from PLAION and the guys from Premier Comms for issuing me a code of this fantastic game. I do really appreciate the support, and this video would not be possible without their support. So big thank you for the early access, and now let's crack on. We've got to chase down Marquez and Pecco Bagnaia, two of the fiercest competitors in the MotoGP 2023 season, and maybe MotoGP in general over the past couple of years. We do go through into La Quercia, but mistakes have been made as we managed to just lose the lead to Pecco, but I'm quite strong into Tramonto. Can we get the move done into turn 9, into turn 10? There's Tramonto. We do have a bit of a rubbing racing moment with Pecco, but we do take over at the front, but Pecco is strong again. Oh, Pecco back up at the inside. Pecco trying to go through into Cavone, the fastest corner here in Misano, as we'll try and go around the outside for turn 12. Just can't get through on the Factory Ducati teammate, but we're now through. We dive over the inside for Caro, but look at this battle. Rubbing is raising, elbows is bumping, and just good job we're wearing the same colours, because we would be wearing each other's colours if this by the end of this race, because the amount of contact and effort is going on here. But a mistake into the Misano corner has cost us dearly, and look at the riders taking advantage of our mistake. You've got Maverick Vinales in there, Juan Mir, who's having a somewhat unrealistic performance right now, but you never know what's going to happen by the time we get to Misano. But nice move up at the inside of Quartararo to fight back at Pecco. Now Pecco is leading the way, and now it's down to us to catch up to the world champion, the number one, of course. Now, one thing to note right on cue there is dropping down to first gear prematurely in this game is a death sentence. If you try and drop into first gear in a mid-corner or just too early in the shifts, you've completely messed up the bike. The bike starts handling weird, it starts really struggling to grip, and it's just way too much torque into the rear tyre. So that is one thing I'm beginning to learn, which is really cool and is very exciting, because it's always nice to be challenged and have something different to get used to. So sometimes I'm not even downshifting to first, just because I'm a little bit tentative about doing so. Now, something else I want to mention, which for me is the biggest difference here in MotoGP 23, and that is bringing on the acceleration. That smooth acceleration brings the bike to sit up vertically. Now, when the bike sits up straight, you really can't move the bike in if you're bringing acceleration on. It's one of those things that you're going to have to feel it to really understand what I mean here. But as you're playing and as you're getting used to things, if you bring on the power too early, you're going to find yourself going into the opposite rumble strip and then into the grass. It's a strange sensation. It's a really weird feeling, but I guess it makes sense because all that torque, all that power in the rear, the acceleration, it's going to push the bike forwards. It's not going to be leaning. So it does make sense, but it does feel really jarring. And I think MotoGP 23 is the first and only game that I've played that captures it so well. I don't think I've ever had it in another game. I've played a few of the other simulation games and I didn't really notice it too much, maybe in GP bikes once I tried that, but it's really pronounced here in MotoGP 23. From every bike, from the Moto 3 to the Moto 2 and even the MotoGP class. It just feels different. And it's not a bad thing, and it's certainly a good thing, to be honest with you, because it adds an extra realism. But it is challenging, and I think it will put players off, but as long as you give it the time and effort, it will become natural. Already in 12 hours I'm doing this gameplay now, and I feel quite comfortable. I would say the bike feels really good. I'm chasing down Pecco as much as I can here, certainly pushing me, and I'm worried that my fuel is also running out. Now, this is just a brief synopsis of what this game could do and how things have changed physics-wise. There's a lot more to come, and I've got a lot more to discuss in today's review, so if you're keen to know more on MotoGP 23, then definitely check out my review coming at 2 PM today. Hit subscribe if you haven't done so already so you don't miss that video, and also if you are enjoying it, be sure to hit the like button as well, because it does help out the channel quite a lot. So now into turn 2. I've always felt strong here in Misano, and it was kind of the reason I chose this track, because I do feel good in the circuit, I always have done, from every single game we've played, and of course, World Superbike was on at Misano at the weekend, and I had to play with Misano because I really like this circuit, so it just makes sense. But bringing on the power, we have dropped it down to power setting 2 now, because we do need to take some consideration with the fuel. The fuel drops quite quickly in power setting 3 like it has done, but if we can balance it with power setting 2, maybe a bit of 3 here and there, we should be able to chase down the world champion. And I've got to be honest with you, I'm looking forward to seeing this take place in real life. When Bastianini gets back and he's healthy, he's going to be taking the fight to Pecco, and it's going to be very interesting to watch. So I, for one, very much look forward to seeing this in the future. But now into the right-hand side for Cavone, we'll bring on the power, just a bit too eager on the acceleration there. I have dropped the TCS down to 3, which, if you're not aware, is traction control. So I've dropped that down to 3 with anti-wheelie on 3 as well. Dropping the electronics more than that gave quite a lot of a challenge, and the bikes really wanted to wheelie at those lower anti-wheelie settings. I've still got to find the feeling and the rhythm with this game yet. So bringing on the ride height device, we're lowering that back and lowering the front so the bike is nice and stable, so we can get a nice, easy acceleration and avoid the wheelie coming out to the final corner here in Misano. Back into turn 2. This is a corner I feel strong with, but we're just not making enough ground on Pecco yet. Don't shy away yet though, because I'm pretty certain we keep putting in those lap times, we can catch up to him. And may I mention, something that I guess I've neglected to talk about is the dynamic weather. Yes, MotoGP 23 now has flag-to-flag races. It can rain if it's been dry, and vice versa. The track can dry if it has been rainy. And looking at those clouds above, it could very well be raining soon. So just keep an eye on the weather for now, guys and gals. And also keep an eye on Pecco, because whatever he decides to do, it will influence me in some other way. Maybe we'll not go, maybe we will, I don't know yet. But it all depends whether or not it will rain. It is looking more and more cloudy. The chances are higher, the probability is likely. We'll see what's going to happen. But now into Caro for 14. A corner I've always felt strong on, but I did downshift into first there. You've seen the bike sort of just judder ever so slightly. Try and avoiding dropping down to first too abruptly if we can. Now, it's a thing that I think all of us used in the previous MotoGP games. Downshift to first gear and just let the engine brake take over. It was quite effective and it was quite cheesy in a way. But this time, you can't be doing that. There'll be another exploit soon, or somewhere or along the line, but for now, it's not that one. You can't downshift to first anymore, which is great. So braking into the Rio corner, quite relaxed there. It's a difficult corner to get right. Of course, if you remember Enea Bastianini last year going up against Pecco Bagnaia, he did everything but enter turn 4 relaxed and calm. So I'm trying to not replicate that as of yet. But the top 8 as it stands, somewhat of a surprising top 8, let's be honest. Pecco and Bastianini make sense. Quattararo up there at the front. Maybe the Yamaha is not capable of doing that so much this year. Jorge Martin, Marquez, Zarco, fine. But Joan Mir, a little bit unrealistically at 7th. Maybe he's going to just turn it up when he gets to Misano this year. Let's hope he does. But we'll see. I did have a race a few days ago where Raul Fernandez was top 2 for majority of the race. So, yeah, take the AI with a pinch of salt for now. But so far, this is on 110% difficulty. I'm not fully up to speed yet with MotoGP 23 and the MotoGP class, but the AI looks quite solid. We've had some good encounters so far in the early stage of this race, and now going into the final couple of laps, Bagnaia looks to be solid. He doesn't really seem to be putting any mistakes. Maybe once or twice I've seen one, but not much. But we crossed the line. It's another improvement of a lap time. That's 5 lap times actually coming in pretty quick succession, all with a deviation of around 0.3 of a second. So pretty good effort. I'm certainly pushing to chase down the world champion. So on the brakes again, going into turn 4. Don't forget, guys and gals, if you are enjoying the content so far, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It does help out the channel, so I would appreciate it if you would do so. But if not, don't worry, just enjoy the video. So, back on the straight. We're going into La Quercia in just a moment's time. This is a point of the circuit where I feel much stronger than the AI. We are able to close in, but the acceleration with still using power setting 2 is not working out so well. Now, regarding the tyres, I think this is something I'll have to probably save for the review, but the tyres do make a big impact in this year's game. The hard feels significantly different from medium and soft, which is great, and the medium is a good balance between, and then the soft, you're talking only 1 or 2 laps before it just burns, or at least it did for me with my aggressive braking style. If you have a more gentle style, then I imagine you'll be able to make it last, but also weather dependent as well, isn't it? So we are entering the penultimate corner before we start the penultimate lap. Here is the final corner. This is the Mazzano corner, aptly named for the track called Mazzano. There you go, bringing on the power too early. I couldn't move the bike. I mentioned this earlier on. The weight of the bike is difficult to maneuver. It's just tough. It's hard to get used to. But once we get used to it, it'll be night and day. And I guess final thing to mention before I really leave the rest for the review is the front brake. You can brake really late now. You can brake extremely late and trail brake very late. It's not something I'm a big fan of. I don't mind braking so late. I'm just not a fan of how long you can hold the trail brake. It seems a little bit unrealistic, but it does make the racing fun. And I think that's all that matters. As long as the game is fun and it's good to play, I think that's what sort of outweighs the realism and everything else. But for me, I kind of prefer braking a bit earlier. The brakes are very strong in this game. You'll notice it if you compare it with MotoGP 22 or if you're playing it side by side. So, into Cavone then for the penultimate time. We have Pecco Bagnaia, who's got 0.5 of a second advantage, and we are closing in here. We did use power setting 3 ever so briefly, but I'm now worried about my fuel because it's now 0.4 to the minus. We are closing in, but is it going to be enough to have a pop at Pecco? Can we do it? This is why you guys have hung on for so long. Is it an opportunity for us to strike? Great acceleration out of the final corner. We get across the line. This is the final lap today, guys and gals, until the review at 2 PM. Into the right for turn 1 and back across to the left for turn 2. Pecco's slowing down. We are right on it. Back into the 130s for us that we were on the last lap. Power setting 1 is going to have to be for now, but we're going to go for a late lunge. Is it going to stick? It is. Into the Rio corner. You can't get any later than that. Oh, he's pushed me wide. I don't know where he is. Where are you, Pecco? There he is. Oh, caught the rumble strip. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't mean to punt him. I did not mean to do that. Unfortunately, I lost my position. I didn't know where he was. So I was trying to regain the position without us both clattering into each other. And then, unfortunately, I made a pig's ear out of it. That was ridiculous. My apologies to Pecco Bagnaia and the number 63 fans. But so far, Pecco is still there and he's not letting me get away with it. Pecco back into the lead. Big wheelie coming in for the number 23. Can we go around the outside of Pecco? It's not going to happen. We're getting close. Oh, we're strong. We're very strong, but onto the outside and around the outside for turn 12. We should have this one signed, sealed and delivered. Go into the 14th corner. Nice time, Pecco! Oh! Oh my god, that was a whack and a half. So I guess that's your answer with the AI then. They are incredibly aggressive, and in turn I'm going to try and squeeze up the inside of Fabio to retake the position for second. Jorge Martin, he's just delivered a masterclass. How the hell did he steal that victory? Wow. So guys and gals, that's your first look at MotoGP 23. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, because that was wild. What a race. But guys and gals, thanks for watching. I hope you stick around to check out my review later on at 2 PM. Big thank you again to Premier Comms for giving me a code for this game and the opportunity for early access. But I guess that's it from me. I need to take a breather, so thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.